So we are here talking with Derek Diaz, the founder of God Set Me Free Worldwide and the author of Why Did I Get Saved? And I love the subtitle, y'all. How Christianity Failed Me, but Jesus Filled Me. Part of what we do at One Love is we encourage the gifts. We encourage creativity. We want to empower people like, hey, if God can do it through you, he can do it through them.
Yeah.
So share about your book, about the process a little bit, and what led you to write a book?
Yeah.
You wrote a book.
The best way that I could describe the most traumatic season of my life was to write it down. But I realized that when I started to write it down, I was writing it down from a very orphan place. So the journey of the book was really beautiful. I tell people it took 2 years to write, but I only wrote it in 2 days. There was one day back in January of 2019 where I wrote about 70 pages in one day. And then I woke up the next day and half of the book was gone. Like somehow Word deleted like half the book. And I was like, I'm scared. Like I had engineer friends trying to like find it. It was gone. But I love the story because then about a year and a half later, I'm sitting in a coffee shop in Dallas and the Lord's like, open up your laptop. And he gives me the download for the rest of the book. And I finished. And so, yes, it took 2 years from the moment that the birth of the book started to the end of it. But I really only wrote it in 2 days. And
wow.
My encouragement to people was this was self-published. I had to find 3 different artists to create the book cover. I won't, you'll have to get the book, but there's a very specific, beautiful, outline to why the book cover is what it is. But also on top of that, there's a story about T.D. Jakes as to why I did it this way. I don't know if y'all know this, but we wouldn't have T.D. Jakes if it wasn't for self-publishing. When he wrote his first book, Women Thou Art Loosed.
Y'all, can we talk about that book? I'm going to have to do an episode about that book.
I don't know if you knew this. Every editor and publisher was going to change almost everything about the book.
Wow.
He had to come to his wife with tears in his eyes.
I do remember this story.
And asked her, I need to spend our entire life savings in order to publish this book the way that I want it to be done. Can I do it? And she said, yes. And y'all, they poured out their entire life savings to do that book. That book has sold over 6 million copies. He would have been a little West Virginian pastor for the rest of his life if he wouldn't have self-published and he wouldn't have had the co-sign of his wife. That's why I modeled this way, because I knew that I was going to have eyes on it. I can't write grammatically. I had editors' eyes on this, but they knew I'm not going to budge on what I'm saying. I actually remember my first editor saying, this is probably going to be the worst book that you ever write.
That is so encouraging.
It really was. And she said, I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong. I actually thanked her in the book because had I not got that rebuke, when the next person that edited the book saw it, he said the same thing she said. And then he read it again and said, I'm so sorry. I actually was in a religious spirit because you were offending me about my Christianity.
Wow.
This is a book you have to read twice, I'll be honest. And they had to read it twice because they were reading it from a editorial perspective, right? Right. They didn't get the story. So I self-published. My creative director, who is now on God Set Me Free Worldwide, on staff, she's the one who came through and did the design work, did the whole thing herself, painted it, the whole thing.
And what's her name?
Her name is Diana Guillen. She got the post cred.
Shout out Diana.
And yeah, I wrote the book because the story didn't become about me anymore. It was about what I understood about my testimony that I think people needed to hear. And I wrote a little insert there. I said, may the pages of this book take me places my tongue can't.
Amen.
Because I believe that this could be a tool for people that don't know Christ to hear someone who did or thought he did. Because this is the kind of raunchy story that people don't talk about in Christianity.
Well, I'm excited. I personally haven't read it. I got to keep it real, but I am going to read it. But check it out. Where can people find it?
Yeah. They can find it at godsentmefree.com, or they can find it on Amazon. Like, it's in Apple, whatever that's called.
Awesome.
Like, you can get the ebook or the paperback.
Awesome. Well, check it out. God Set Me Free Worldwide. Derek Diaz. Why Did I Get Saved? This is his book. Guys, we just want to thank you. If you are walking through your faith walk and you've got some questions for the Lord, you have some questions for your brothers and sisters, guys, leave them in the comments. Reach out to us. Email us at OneLove, info@oneloveministries.org, or email Derek directly. We'll make sure all his contact information is linked below. Don't walk this alone.
Right.
We need one another. And if you are walking through your questions right now alone, reach out. There's a community that is willing to walk this with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on Adventures in One Love. And thank you for joining us on this adventure. We need your support. We need your prayers. We are stepping out in faith in new and exciting ways that I don't always understand. And so I am blessed to have this connection, but we're blessed for your support too. So please be praying with us. Give us a like. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know what books you want us to talk about.
Yes.
What authors you want to interview. Maybe I can reach out to somebody. I think I'm somebody. Why not try?
Why not?
But remember, it all starts with yourself, right? It starts with one, and it starts with you. God bless you.